What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I got back in the mail and profile each of the individuals that signed autographs for me. So the first one is a return from Florida, and it is a return from former Yankee/Baltimore Oriole Tom Shopay on 4 of 4. And as you know, I love collecting both the all-time Orioles set as well as the Senior League cards. So I'm going to talk about both of those really briefly here. And we're going to talk about Tom Shopay and his career in baseball. Tom Shopay is a Connecticut native that grew up outside of Bristol, Connecticut, where he attended high school. However, he later went to college at Dean College in Franklin, Massachusetts. It was there that he was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 34th round of the 1965 draft. Well, when you're drafted in the 34th round, there's probably not a lot expected of you, and Tom was assigned to their A-ball affiliate at 20 years old in 1965, where he appeared in 67 games and stole 17 bases while posting a .321 batting average as a left-handed hitting outfielder, excuse me. The next year in 1966, he would repeat A-ball, appearing in 71 games, posting a .267 batting average and stealing 23 bases that year. In 67, he was moved up. He skipped Double-A, appeared in 130 games for the AAA affiliate of the Yankees, batting .277, stealing 24 bases, and hitting 9 home runs. Well, on September 17th, 1967, at just 22 years old, Tom made his major league debut against the Cleveland Indians, recording his first hit in that game. Tom would finish out the year appearing in 8 games that year, posting a .296 batting average, stealing a couple bases and hitting a couple home runs, and the future looked very bright for this young man in Yankee Stadium. Well, the Yankees decided to post him back in 1968 to AAA, where he appeared in 125 games, but his batting average dipped down to just .245. However, he did steal 15 bases and hit a couple home runs. Without a call-up in 68, he went back in 1969 to AAA, appearing in 65 games that year. However, he did get a call-up in 69, and his batting average plummeted to just .083, and he only recorded 4 hits his entire time up in the major leagues in 28 games. Well, after that 69 season, the Baltimore Orioles decided to take Tom as their Rule 5 pick, and they placed him in their AAA affiliate in 1970, where he appeared in 88 games, and he bounced back, batting .324, stealing 37 bases and hitting 7 home runs. Well, in 1971, Tom made the team with Baltimore, batting .257 that year for them and playing a part-time outfield role, filling in all positions. Tom even threw the catching gear on every now and then and caught behind the plate as well. So ultimately, Tom was the ultimate bench player. He could play all 3 outfield positions. He had excellent fielding percentage for his career, and he also could catch behind the plate and steal a base for you. Well, after that 71 season, Tom would bounce up and down between AAA and the majors with Baltimore, and he would do this almost for the entire decade, as a matter of fact. And he would be with the Orioles till he was 32 years old in 1977, where he appeared in 67 games. After that 77 season, Tom then signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. However, the Pirates sent him to their AAA affiliate and never did call him up to the majors in 1978. And at the age of 33, after that 1978 season, Tom retired from baseball. One of the things that I mentioned was Tom was very proficient in playing the outfield positions, but he committed only 1 error in his entire baseball career in the major leagues. So he has like almost a perfect defensive fielding percentage, and that tells you how good of an athlete he was out in the outfield. I can't speak for his catching, really, but he was almost perfect during his entire career as an outfielder. And that's very, very, very rare that you see that, especially in today's game, somebody being that proficient in the field. So, like I said, Tom was pretty much the ultimate utility outfielder slash catcher in an emergency. After his retirement, I'm not really sure what he did post playing career. However, I can tell you that he was elected in 1997 to the Bristol Sports Hall of Fame in Connecticut in 1997 as for not just his baseball accomplishments, but also his high school accomplishments in basketball and soccer. So he was an outstanding athlete, in multiple sports, and that's what got him into the Hall of Fame in Bristol. So we'll move on to the next return. All right, so this next one I considered keeping for the Christmas video, but it didn't work out that way in timing, and I'd rather just share them with you. And that is a return from another former Oriole on the all-time Orioles set, along with the Cardinals and the Cubs, Ken Rudolph. So let me tell you about Ken Rudolph, who would be probably my starting catcher on my all-time Christmas baseball team if I were to put one together. So let me tell you about Ken and his career in baseball. Born in Illinois originally, Ken relocated to California where he attended high school in Los Angeles area and also attended Los Angeles City College in Los Angeles as well. He was selected by his home state Chicago Cubs in the second round of the 1965 draft out of college. After being selected at just 18 years old, he went to rookie ball in single A its first year in 1965, where he appeared in 53 games behind the plate for the Cubs minor league affiliate. He would work his way up through the Cubs system. In 1969, he would make the Cubs major league club, where he made his major league debut April 20th, 1969. He would split the time in 1969, appearing in just 27 games for the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and also appearing in their minor league affiliates as well that year. 1970 was more of the same. He would appear in 20 games for the Cubs that year, but spent some of the season also in their Double-A affiliate. 1971, more of the same. He would spend 57 games in Triple-A and just 25 games in the major leagues as a backup catcher for the Cubs. Randy Hundley obviously was the Cubs' big-time catcher during that time, and Ken in 1972 would get a full-time, part-time job for the Cubs, backing up Randy, and he would then spend through the 1973 season with the Cubs as a backup catcher. After the end of that 73 season, he would then be traded to the San Francisco Giants. With the Giants, he would then continue his backup role, appearing in 57 games in the 74 season. And after that 74 season, he would then pack his bags again and would be traded to the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Cardinals would keep him on their staff for a couple seasons. So the Cardinals would keep him on their staff for the 75 season. And he would also be with the Cardinals in the 76 season before the Cardinals decided to trade him after that 76 season back to the San Francisco Giants right before the 1977 season began. So the Giants bought him for cash, and in 1977 he appeared in just 11 games for the Giants before they decided to trade him, and after all, sent him to the Baltimore Orioles in July. So that's how he became a Baltimore Oriole. So after his time with the Orioles in 1977, he was let go by the Orioles after the end of that season, and he signed back with the St. Louis Cardinals and finished out the 1978 year as the backup catcher in their AAA affiliate at the age of 31. Well, after Ken retired from baseball as a player, he went on to move back to Arizona, of all places, and became a head baseball coach at a high school in Arizona. I want to thank Ken for signing those cards for me, adding a couple more to that all-time Orioles collection. You have noticed you're not seeing double here. I do have a second set, so I was able to buy a second partial set And I happen to have a couple doubles of some of the players now, so I send a couple of them in the mail. That way, if they want to keep one, they can keep one, and I'm ensured that hopefully they'll send back my second one as well, and they don't keep my one and only copy of my all-time Orioles card. So we'll move on to the next return. All right, so this final one is a return from Texas, and it is a return from former San Diego Padre Mark Lee on 4 of 4. So we have a couple cards of him, 79, 80 tops there. So let me tell you about Mark Lee in his baseball career, but what I do want to point out is there is another Mark Lee that pitched in the 1990s. This is not him. Obviously, the 1990s era Mark Lee, his cards are a little more readily available because that's during the junk wax era. So if you do decide to write Mark Lee, make sure you get the right Mark Lee that played in the 1970s and 80s, not the Mark Lee that played in the 1990s. So with that said, let me tell you about Mark Lee and his career in baseball. Mark Lee, a California native, was actually drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in the 1973 draft and also the 74 draft by the Orioles out of El Camino College in California. In both instances, Mark decided not to sign and instead had the opportunity to pitch at Pepperdine University in Malibu, California. Well, he was then selected by the San Diego Padres out of Pepperdine in the 13th round of the 1976 draft. So by him staying in college, he actually lost draft status as opposed to moving up on the draft status. Well, this didn't deter Mark. He signed with the Padres, and they assigned him to the A-ball affiliate, where he appeared in 28 games and posted a 5-3 record and a 3 ERA in 1976. The following year in 77, they would move him up to their AA affiliate, where he would appear in 60 games, posting a 10-8 record out of the bullpen for their AA affiliate. The next year, he was slated to probably just be in AAA. However, Mark made the team in 1978, and he made his major league debut on April 23rd, 1978. He would pitch one in the third inning and just give up one walk, but in the record books, Mark went, and he would finish out the year appearing in 56 games that year for the San Diego Padres, posting a 5-1 record with a 3.28 ERA his rookie year. The next year in 1979, he would appear in 46 games. However, his record would dip to 2-4 and his ERA would go up. And the Padres did have him split some time in AAA, where he responded in 21 games, posting a 1.76 ERA and a 4-1 record. In 1980, he would spend some time in the minor leagues with the Padres. However, on August 12, 1980, Mark would be the player to be named later from an August deal earlier that month that sent him to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mark would finish out the season with the Pirates, appearing in just 4 games, and in 1981 he was gearing up to come back to the Pirates. However, he had some struggles and they put him in their AAA affiliate, where he appeared in 49 games. He did appear in 12 games for the Pirates that year in the majors, posting a 2.75 ERA, but his record was 0-2. So he would start the season out in 1982 with the Pirates. However, his contract would be purchased in March of 1982 before the season, and he would spend time with the Detroit Tigers AAA affiliate, appearing in 45 games, and his record would drop to just 1-7. Well, I'm not really sure what happened to Mark after he retired as a player immediately. However, Mark would resurface in the early 2000s, and he would actually become the general manager of the Amarillo Dillos and later the Amarillo Sox of the American Association, which is an independent league baseball team. So he would be a GM for that Amarillo affiliate from 2006 to 2014. So Mark was very instrumental in the Amarillo baseball franchise. The Amarillo Sod Poodles are actually now an affiliated baseball team. They're, as of me shooting this video, they are the AA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So independent baseball has moved out of Amarillo, and now professional baseball in the minor leagues is in Amarillo. So I think Mark still lives in the Amarillo area to this day. I was very happy to find his address and send a couple cards in the mail because I had never gotten his autograph before. So I'm happy to add his autograph to the collection. I am also very happy to add Ken Rudolph, who has probably heard every reindeer joke that has ever been told. I also want to thank Tom Shopay for signing my cards as well to add another Oriole to my all-time Orioles collection. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and learn about some players from the 1970s and early 80s. Actually, Tom was going in the 1960s technically. I didn't have any Major League cards at Tom. I just had those two Orioles cards and the Senior League cards, but all the same, I enjoy those just as much as I do real cards from that era. I look forward to your comments below, and as always, happy collecting.